perhaps are looking to send their seniors out on a high note against the Demon Deacons of Wake Forest. It's ACC women's basketball, and we have it next on ESPN3. Welcome inside Cameron Indoor Stadium. I'm Ryan Craig sitting alongside Debbie Taylor. And Debbie, unfortunately, same song, different verse for the Blue Devils. Injuries and attrition at the point guard spot. They've lost Alexis Jones now for the rest of the year after her injury suffered against Notre Dame. Gives Wake Forest a shot to perhaps end a long losing streak to the Blue Devils in this series.
The doors cracked open for Wake Forest tonight as the Blue Devils will only dress 8 scholarship players. And after the loss of Chelsea Gray, Duke's All-American point guard in January, now they've suffered a loss of yet another point guard in Alexis Jones. And Duke is going to have their work cut out for them this evening. They're going to have to make adjustments with only 3 guards on the roster.
Duke will also have its hands full with Dearica Hamby, the leading point scorer and rebounder in the ACC, as we spotlight her in our one-on-one.
Dearica Hamby currently leads the ACC in scoring and rebounding. She is a talented and versatile athlete who can run the floor, rebound, and get to the rim. She just broke Wake Forest's single-season record for points scored with 587. But her Achilles heel this season has been turnovers. She leads their team with 114 turnovers, and she's going to need to take care of the ball tonight for the Demon Deacons to be successful.
Somebody for the Blue Devils hoping to have Hamby add to that turnover total. Elizabeth Williams, one of the best post players and post defenders in all of the nation, really.
Elizabeth Williams is the 2-time ACC Defensive Player of the Year and has played her best basketball in February, Ryan. Last 4 contests, she has averaged over 18 points and 8 rebounds per game, all against ranked opponents. The Blue Devils are going to need Elizabeth Williams this evening to step up and do even more in the absence of players on their roster.
All right. I mean, it's certainly usable. I think Taylor here high atop Cameron Indoor Stadium, where we've got Duke versus Wake Forest. There you see the starting lineups, Debbie. Micaiah Jones, Melissa Calicott, Jill Brunori, Dearica Hamby, and Candace Ball for the Demon Deacons. Rashae Jackson, Trisha Liston, Amber Henson getting the start with Alexis Jones out of the lineup. Duke going big, joined there by Haley Peters and Elizabeth Williams, who we profiled in our one-on-one.
We've seen Amber Henson's ability to play inside and out this year, Ryan. She can shoot the 3, she can put the ball on the floor, and she's also very effective for Duke around the rim. So some of Duke's post players are going to be asked to assume guards duties this evening, and Amber Henson's going to be one of them.
Really an interesting matchup here. Wake Forest has lost 39 in a row in the series. They haven't beat a ranked Duke team since 1986, but you figure they've got their best chance that they've had in a while. Figure to see a lot of press, try to make Duke figure out who's going to take the ball up for them, because right now the Blue Devils and Coach Joanne P. McCauley even admitted they're trying to figure themselves out at this point.
You know, when you start the season with 4 point guards, one's an All-American, the other is one of the best guards in the country, and you lose all 4, you know, you have to solve that problem. And they've been plugging gaps all year long, and tonight is going to be another game where they're going to have to figure out how to get it done. But for Wake Forest, an opportunity to extend their defense, press a team that's going to have difficulty handling the ball, passing the ball. This is going to be a really interesting game for both teams.
Both teams on the floor now. It's Hamby versus Williams, a matchup we figured to call plenty today, and Williams loses the tip to Hamby. And Chelsea Douglas back in the starting lineup for the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. She has missed several games and then came off the bench most recently against Miami. She's back on the floor, though, team's second leading scorer and one of the best scorers in the ACC at over 18 points a game. Quickly, we see the active hands by the Blue Devils.
And this is what we talked about in the open, Ryan. Wake's propensity to turn the ball over. Off their recent loss at Miami, they turned the ball over 27 times, and they're going to have to get a handle on that to be successful in this game tonight. They just can't hand Duke the basketball.
First offensive possession for the Blue Devils. Trisha Liston will take it out, and we figure to see a point guard by committee today. Of course, no true point guards. It's been said and would likely be said later on in the broadcast a number of times. Duke, with only 3 backcourt players left on scholarship, none of them are point guards, so we'll see Trisha Liston, Rashae Jackson, and even Kalia Johnson handle point guard duties.
And not only are these players not point guards, they're really more 3 players. They're not even 1 or 2s. They're bigger guards who can play inside and out. So this is definitely, they have their work cut out for them tonight.
Interesting to see, too, what the Blue Devils do on offense. Coach McCauley admitting that they had to take out some of their more complicated sets that required more dribbling as Rashae Jackson gets to the bucket and draws the foul.
And you see Rashea Jackson take over point guard duties from the tip, and I'm surprised that Wake hasn't come out and really just pressured the ball.
Another look there at Jackson drawing the foul. It'll be the first on Candace Ball. First free throw for Jackson is good. She's hit 12 in a row now from the charity stripe.
Chelsea Douglas for Wake is a very athletic, quick, aggressive guard, and I think you're going to see her really get up on the ball handler tonight and try to create turnovers and create some offense with their defense.
Lucky 13 in a row now for Rashea Jackson as the Blue Devils open up a 2-0 lead. Second offensive possession for Wake Forest.
And Duke starts out in their matchup, Ryan, which has been really effective for them in the last couple of games. NC State had a really hard time figuring out how to play against the matchup. Maryland even struggled against Duke's matchup. The matchup is designed really to negate athleticism. With the few players Duke has left on their roster, it's a great option for them, and they're playing it really well right now.
Quickly, you see Hamby asserting herself on the offensive glass and the putback to tie it at 2, and now the full court pressure that we figure to see plenty of against Wake Forest to test Duke's ball handling ability in the backcourt. Blue Devils solved it easily, and now Trisha Liston operates on the wing, and Rashea Jackson at the top of the key gets the Blue Devils offense going. Liston stops and pops a baseline. Jump shot is good.
Nice shot by Trisha, and you see Coach P puts Trisha on the offensive end of the floor against the press, and Wake's going to have to worry about her down there catching the ball and shooting it immediately. It's a really smart move.
Tremendous length on defense now for the Blue Devils. Haley Peters, really a 4, now playing the 3 position at the top of that matchup zone. And Douglas fires for 3, rolls in and out, rebounded by eventually nobody, and we'll get a tie-up situation, first of the game.
Douglas is not to pull it anytime she has an open look. She averages over 18 points a game. She's been a prolific scorer for this Wake program, and they're going to look to her a lot tonight.
Blue Devils ball, and Hamby bothers Rashea Jackson. Trisha Liston doubled near midcourt, and the first real tip ball that Wake Forest forces, but it'll stay with the Blue Devils on the possession.
And I think you're going to see this press all night long, Ryan. They're going to give Duke less time to operate in the half court, less opportunity for Elizabeth Williams to touch the ball, and more opportunity for them to create turnovers that result in easy baskets.
Haley Peters driving to the bucket. Reverse layup is good. As the Blue Devils, a positive sign there. Some offense from Haley Peters.
Great take by Haley Peters, and you know she is going to step up tonight as one of the seniors on this team. And surprisingly, no help side defense by Wake.
Three-pointer there, no good. Rebounded by Elizabeth Williams, tapped out to her by Amber Henson. Quickly ahead go the Blue Devils. Figure to have a more deliberate pace than normal, perhaps, without a point guard. But Elizabeth Williams there, second reverse layup in a row, and the Blue Devils are up 8-2.
And that's way too easy, and you saw every player on Wake's team hugging their man. That's the second possession in a row that there's been absolutely no help side defense, and an easy layup for Elizabeth Williams.
Nice offensive start for Duke. They lead by 6 as there's 16 minutes, 43 seconds left here in the first half, and a foul there called on Rashea Jackson. And things are adequate as they stand for Duke, but foul trouble is where that thin bench will begin to be exposed more and more. A foul there on Rashea Jackson. The matchup zone figures to keep them out of more foul trouble than, say, a traditional man-to-man team. But nonetheless, something Duke will have to be concerned with.
Certainly, and a foul like that that's unnecessary by Rashea Jackson are the ones that need to be avoided.
And Haley Peters with the take after the steal goes coast to host and draws the foul on Chelsea Douglas. First on Douglas.
Here's Haley Peters, as she's been doing every game this year for Duke, doing the little things. The steal, the take to the basket, and now she's on the free throw line. She's the workhorse of this team. She's so competitive, and she's going to will her team to win.
And Peters sinks the first free throw. Peters, the 9th Duke player in the program's history with over 1,000 points and 750 rebounds. Speaks to the versatility that you were discussing as she hits the second of 2 free throws to give the Blue Devils an 8-point lead.
And you know, Ryan, we've talked about the injuries to Duke and losing 4 point guards, but Duke was the only team in the NCAA history to start the season with 4,000-point scorers on their roster, and 3 of them are out there on the floor right now. There's a lot of firepower offensively on this Duke team.
Wake Forest continuing to struggle a bit with taking care of the ball on offense.
You see Hamby's versatility out there on the perimeter guarding Trisha Liston. She's one of the best defenders on their team, and she can play multiple positions on offense and on defense.
Liston takes Hamby in the post area. 2 seconds left on the shot clock, and Elizabeth Williams is called for traveling. Question marks abound about the Duke point guard situation. So far, so good for the Blue Devils. They lead 10-2. We'll be back in the first half. 7th-ranked Duke leads Wake Forest 10-2. Thus far, not as many issues as one may have presumed, perhaps, with the Duke offense. They look pretty good out there.
I think
3 for 3 from the field. Sorry, Debbie, to start the game.
I think the Duke offense looks great. I think the issue here is I expected Wake Forest defense to have a little more fire behind it, and you've seen 2 easy takes to the basket, no help side defense. You would assume they're going to come out and play a little harder out of that timeout.
Blue Devils back in their matchup zone. Same players on the floor with one exception. Nice look there down low, and the layup is good by Jill Brunori, the freshman. That cuts the Duke lead to 6, and the Blue Devils again easily able to cross midcourt by going to be a press break by committee, according to Coach P.
And you see it's taking them a substantial amount of time for them to get into their offense. And now 13 seconds on the shot clock when they start their offensive set. So Wake's press has served its purpose.
Good screen there, and Rashae Jackson stops and pops from the elbow. No good. And Hamby lets it go. It'll be Wake Forest ball. Exactly 15 minutes to go here in the first half.
You know, Dara Cheatham coming on the floor for Amber Henson, and she's really been giving the Blue Devils some good minutes in these last couple games, and they're going to need her now going into the ACC and NCAA tournament, and she's no longer a freshman. She really needs to step up and play well for them tonight.
Wake Forest patient with the ball, still 13 seconds left on the shot clock. Nice entry pass into Hamby, who's blocked by Elizabeth Williams. Rebound by Brunori, who throws up a layup that is good, high off the glass for Brunori. And the freshman is 2 of 2 from the field, 2 of 3, excuse me.
And you see how methodical Duke is being against the press, but taking care of the ball, which is what they need to do. Now 20 seconds left on the shot clock as they set up their offense.
Haley Peters posts up her defender and draws the foul on ball, second on ball.
And Wake making a switch to a 2-3 zone, Ryan, and we're going to see them mix their defenses up a little bit tonight as well to try to get Duke off balance.
Rashae Jackson substitutes out of the game. Kalia Johnson in for the Blue Devils for the first time. Liston tosses it into Elizabeth Williams. Back to Liston on the baseline. Nice move there. Couldn't finish the layup, and the ball will stay with the Blue Devils.
I love how Liston has just expanded her game this year and has the ability to put the ball on the floor. She's so hard to guard.
Williams' one dribble jump shot is good. And the junior out of Virginia, perfect on the day.
Great shot for Elizabeth Williams. She needs to be able to score from that high post area because they're really going to try to push her off the block and keep her out of the paint in this game.
Chelsea Douglas launches a 3, no good. Rebounded there by Brunori, kind of a do-it-all player for the Demon Deacons, but then she loses it out of bounds right in front of the Duke bench.
And she got the ball back and then just turned it over. Their unforced turnover for Wake.
Fourth turnover on the evening for the Demon Deacons, and the Blue Devils give it right back. Brunori runs into Kalia Johnson, but then finishes nicely with the left hand. And Jill Brunori with a game-high 6 points at this point.
That's a nice take by Brunori. You know, they say she's the hardest worker on this team. She's second on the team in rebounding. She's a really tough kid who tore her ACL her senior year in high school and is really starting to catch up now. The
only Demon Deacon to start all 27 games coming into today is Odera Cheatham finishes nicely around Brunori for her first points, and the Blue Devils back up to a 6-point lead. Brunori fires it over for another 3 by the Demon Deacons. Nice box out there by Cheatham, and the Blue Devils will get it past half court without issue.
I want to see the Blue Devils get a little more active on the defensive end. They're kind of playing with their hands down now, hands by their side. They need to get their hands up in the zone, put a little more pressure on the ball.
Another nice offensive rebound and a layup for Odera Cheatham. Jen Hoover does not like what she sees, and the Demon Deacons will discuss it. 12:39 left here. On the side of the Blue Devils, maybe in particular, we know all about their point guard situation. Has not seemed to bother them just yet, shooting almost 70% from the field thus far.
They seem much more poised on offense, I think, than most people would have expected, and they're getting some nice looks around the rim, some really high percentage shots and converting them, and so far so good. A little bit deliberate against the press. You'd like to see them attack it a little bit more, but I think as the game goes on, they're going to get a little more confident and a little more comfortable against it.
Teams back out on the floor. Just 4 fouls called in total, 3 for Wake Forest, 1 for Duke. No real foul trouble for any of the players on the court at this point. And as I say that, Clea Johnson commits a foul out on the perimeter against Chelsea Douglas, her first.
And that's one of those fouls you talked about, Ryan, that's just unnecessary. And you see Duke extending their defense a little bit, slowing the ball down, putting some pressure on. But that hand check, once you touch that ball handler, they're going to blow the whistle. And that hand check's just unnecessary. Duke has to be smarter.
Hamby lines up a three-pointer. No good there, and Elizabeth Williams grabs the rebound. One of the problems with Hamby shooting a three, she's not underneath the glass to grab a rebound if there is one. Quickly ahead, Haley Peters from the corner. Three is good. Haley Peters, a confident look on the offensive end, and one that she hasn't had for a little while, and the Blue Devils are going to need going forward if they are to continue with their outstanding season.
And you knew Haley would be one of the players that would really step up in light of the Blue Devils' current situation, as she does in so many close game situations. She hit the big shot the other night against NC State, and she's there for you when you need her, when it matters most.
Peters with 7 points early, and the Blue Devils up 11. Hamby inside, foul is called. Blue Devils had her double team. That'll be a foul on Odera Cheatham, the freshman. It's Duke 19, Wake Forest 8, under 12 minutes. Duke leads by 11, but they are down 2 point guards for the rest of the season, 2 All-American candidates, really 4 point guards when you think about Kiana Holland, who transferred, and Chloe Wells, who's out indefinitely with an injury as well. Debbie, it's hard. You've been a coach. Look at those numbers up there. Those are the quarterbacks of your team. How much of a challenge is that for you as a coach?
I mean, the point guard is your coach on the floor, Ryan, arguably the most important position out there. And you can have great posts and you can have great shooters, but if you have anybody to pass the ball to them or to run your team, you're in trouble. And it's been amazing to watch this Duke team continue to make adjustments and continue to play at a very high level without these players.
Chelsea Douglas hitting a three to bring the Demon Deacons back within 8, her first 3 of the game. Blue Devils shooting 70% to this point. Wake Forest a hair over 40%, as Haley Peters lines up a shot from behind the arc, rebounded by Cheatham, and she finds herself triple teamed on the baseline, and eventually Wake Forest comes away with the ball. Demon Deacons in transition. Chelsea Douglas lines up a 3, no good, and rebounded by Cheatham.
And you can see some of the deflections and mishandles on the offensive end for Duke right now, because people have the ball in their hands who aren't ball handlers, and they just need to have a little bit more poise on the offensive end and just take good care of the ball.
Solid start for the freshman Cheatham, 4 points, 2 rebounds in just a couple of minutes already. Hamby there with a nice rebound, and quickly ahead come the Demon Deacons.
That's a wide open shot for Haley Peters in the corner. Wake has to get out there.
Hamby double teamed by Peters, kicks it out. Chelsea Douglas again for 3. This time it's good. And Wake Forest within 5.
And that's a nice inside out for Wake Forest. They were able to get the ball into the heart of the defense and kick it out for the wide open 3.
Scary sight for Duke if Douglas starts to catch fire. She scored 48 points earlier this season against Florida International. Hit 9 threes, which tied an ACC record and set the record for the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. I mean, she has the ability to get hot from deep.
9 threes is pretty impressive.
Not bad.
She's a force to be reckoned with when she's shooting well.
Rebounded there nicely by Cheatham again, and she finishes the play.
Great job. Chelsea Douglas is coming off this foot injury that made her sit for 3 games. She came back against the last Miami game and played 30 minutes, I think, which was more than they had expected. But she's been in a boot. She's had limited practice. But I think she's starting to get her game back.
Cheatham with the ball now as the Blue Devils head into the front court. Duke by 7, less than 9.5 to go here in the first half. Rashae Jackson, lefty floater, is good.
Nice take by Rashae Jackson.
5 different Blue Devils have scored already. Perhaps a bit untraditional, but Duke successful nonetheless on the offensive end thus far. Elizabeth Williams with another block, but Hamby will go back to the line as the foul is called on Kalia Johnson.
And you'll see Wake run this double high post, or what they call horn set. And they set 2 ball screens, and there's a nice baseline cut, backdoor cut for an easy look at the basket. Back line of the zone's got to see that coming.
2 fouls on Johnson now, so an already thin Duke backcourt suffers a bit of foul trouble here, and it'll be interesting to see what Coach Joanne P. McCauley does. And a good look there at Chelsea Gray, who the Blue Devils would love to have the services of. She's been a fantastic teammate on the bench. We see her at practice, kind of like another coach there on the court, not to sound too cliche in that aspect, but the other day she pointed something else out to Coach P. That, yeah, great idea, Chelsea, and kind of wrote it down and instituted it in practice. So she really has a great mind for the game and has stayed in touch with the team nicely despite 2 years in a row. Ironically, last year, her season-ending injury coming against Wake Forest.
She's such a breath of fresh air, and she's so positive despite all the adversity she's gone through in her career. And she is another coach on the floor right now for this coaching staff. She's able to speak. She's constantly encouraging her teammates. And when Alexis Jones the other night, she was the first person to go over there and sit with her and try to console her.
Dearica Hamby heads to the line for 2 more free throws as Kendall McGravy Cooper is whistled for the foul.
I think Duke needs to make it a little more difficult for Dearica Hamby to touch the ball. She is the leading scorer in the league. If she gets her hands on the ball, she's going to find a way to get to the rim. They need to do a better job defensively keeping the ball out of her hands.
Hamby approaching school record marks for free throws attempted and made. It's possible for her to break both of those today, but it would take quite an effort. Entered the day 19 made free throws away from first place, but only 9 away from second all-time at Wake Forest. 1 of 2 for Hamby on those 2 from the charity stripe, and Blue Devils' lead is now 6.
And the press, very effective for Wake right there. Shot clock down to 15 before they ever even had an opportunity to get their offense set. Duke being very deliberate against the press, which is a good thing, but they need to attack it a little bit more, get into the offense a little earlier.
Trisha Liston finds Amber Henson, who hands it off to Rashae Jackson. Liston quiet thus far, only 1 of 3 from the field. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Duke needs to be quick. Rashae Jackson, long 2, no good, and rebounded by Wake Forest. Quickly ahead now is Jones, looking for Hamby, who's double teamed by the pair of Duke freshman posts. Hamby able to get the ball anyway. Nice drop step move, and McGravy Cooper provides solid defense. Under 8 minutes to go here in the first half. Duke leads by 20 early here in the first half, and another look at Dearica Hamby getting position on the low post. She's got a school record 20 double-doubles on the season already, and it's reasons like this that allows her to get great position in good scoring areas.
She's great at getting early position and transition, Ryan. And you see Duke right here. They've always got 2 people sandwiching her. You'll see Rashae Jackson dig in here to make sure the ball can't get into the post. She's obviously the focal point of Wake's offense, and Duke's trying their best to keep the ball out of her hands.
Shot there off the mark by Calicott. And the Blue Devils will take over up 6. Duke looking to sew up the number 2 seed in the ACC tournament. They will do so with a win today. And we'll have a little more later on what the ACC tournament would look like should play end today, as Trisha Liston is fouled.
And this game's so important for Wake Forest, Ryan, because they don't want to finish in the bottom 6 teams in the league.
Kalila Atkinson on the foul there. Arguably Wake Forest's most athletic player. That time a step slow as Liston draws the foul. Shot there off the mark, and Wake Forest will take over down 6.
A wide open Tricia Liston on that shot, and she shoots 50% from behind the arc. And if I'm Wake Forest, I'm going to know where she is every time she catches the ball, be there and not let her get that look.
Feels like forever since Tricia Liston has missed a three-point shot. She leads the nation at 50%, an incredible number.
She makes it look so easy.
Also has the highest three-point percentage in ACC history for a career at just over 46%. So she's been doing it for quite a while, not just this season. Elizabeth Williams over the back there on Hamby.
And you see how everybody who catches the ball on Wake's team immediately looks at Hamby. She's just going to stay in the middle of that paint and work and work and work and get big and look for the ball, and they all catch and take an immediate look at her.
16 fouls on the Blue Devils. One more puts Wake Forest in the bonus. As Haley Peters able to drop down from her position in the zone to steal that one and hand it off to Rashae Jackson.
It's Haley Peters again doing the little things.
.15 left on the shot clock once again for the Blue Devils.
And Wake in their zone right now. Blue Devils have to attack gaps. They need to move the basketball. They need to post up strong inside.
That'll be the second on Atkinson. Nice job of ball movement by Duke there to draw the foul.
Post players need to find someone in the zone and put a body on them and get big. Duke's definitely got an advantage in the paint. They have a size advantage. They have a strength advantage. Need to take a body out in the paint and make some layups here.
Tricia Liston will inbound the ball. Launches one there for Haley Peters. Blue Devils thus far enjoying a fair bit of success in the paint, as you can see. Peters thinks about another three, but decides against it. And instead drives it this time. Nice right-handed floater. Haley Peters looking as confident on the offensive end as she has had, or as she has in quite a while. Easy for me to say. 9 points now for the senior.
Nice basket attack by Haley Peters. A little handoff by Tricia Liston. Easy shot in the paint.
Chelsea Douglas, her third three of the day, brings Wake Forest back within 5. Such a weapon on the perimeter for Jen Hoover.
And just like Wake needs to know where Tricia Liston is, Duke needs to know where Chelsea Douglas is. That was one pass and a wide open shot. Better defense is needed on the Duke end.
Blue Devils still up 5 as Tricia Liston tries to make it 8 but can't. And back come the Demon Deacons. Rebounds are 10 apiece.
And Duke stays in their matchup zone.
Douglas again fires a three, this time off the mark. And Duke will take over the ball.
That's a high ball screen set on the zone, which Haley Peters chose under. And Douglas shot the three behind the screen. Fortunately for Duke, she missed this time.
Odera Cheatham back on the floor for the Blue Devils. 6 points, 5 rebounds thus far. Very active evening for the freshman, and a quick turnover there by Duke. They're 5th on the game.
You know, this 2-2-1 press by Wake is really giving Duke problems. It's really designed to eat up shot clock, and that time just an unforced turnover by Duke.
Spoke to Coach Hoover today at the shoot-around, and she mentioned they would be trying a lot of different defenses on Duke today to try to test, as we mentioned, the ball handling, ball security of the team, as we see Dearica Hamby again heading back to the line. Foul there on Haley Peters, first on the evening for her.
And Dearica Hamby caught the ball, and it was pretty easy for her to catch it. Duke needs to make it more difficult for her to get possession of the basketball.
Hamby came into today with 587 points on the year, already a school record, and she's added 6 more to that total, perhaps 7, depending on the outcome of this shot. Instead, it's a miss, and Haley Peters rebounds it for Duke, her first rebound of the afternoon. Blue Devils up 4 with just under 5 minutes remaining here in the first half.
Wake back in their zone, which has been working well for them.
Haley Peters continues to be assertive on the offensive end, already in double figures.
And that's where Duke's just going to have a tremendous advantage, is down low in the paint area. There's such a size and strength advantage for the Duke team. Nice feed and a nice finish by Haley Peters.
Grinori tries the lefty layup, no good there. kicked back out to Micaiah Jones, no good, and Elizabeth Williams corrals it for Duke.
Great rebound by Elizabeth Williams, working hard.
Rashae Jackson with the spin and the layup and the finish.
One of the best ways to play against the zone is to beat it down the floor. That's a nice transition possession. Nice layup by Rashae Jackson. One of the things this Duke team loses with the loss of Alexis Jones is their transition offense. Alexis Jones is so great in transition. Duke was even in transition, and they're going to be a little bit slower now without Alexis on the floor.
Rashae Jackson has 6 points on the evening. Two of the that Coach Joanne P. McCauley has helped hang here at Cameron Indoor Stadium, and one of the reasons that Duke is out to an 8-point lead, the tremendous work of Haley Peters for the 16th time this year. She's in double digits in scoring, but Debbie, that's not all she's done today.
Haley Peters is playing like a senior, and she's playing like a leader tonight. She knows this team needs players to step up, and she's doing a fantastic job not only on the offensive end, but on the defensive end, creating steals, pulling rebounds, playing great defense. She's always the unsung hero out there, Ryan, and tonight she's just having a fantastic game when her team needs her most.
2 seconds left on the shot clock. Wake Forest will have to be quick. Micaiah Jones launches one, does catch rim, and a nice job there by Bernori to keep it alive and lay it in.
Nice hustle play by Bernori. An offensive rebound and an easy layup.
Really a tremendous job by Bernori to make something of that possession after a long shot late in the shot clock for the Demon Deacons to come away with points there. A great job by the freshman.
Haley Peters looking at the official like there should have been a call, but you need to play on.
Chelsea Douglas, you've got to cover her as soon as she crosses midcourt. Thought about it for a second. Instead draws the second foul on Haley Peters. So this is where the depth becomes a challenge for the Blue Devils. We just talked about how important Peters has been thus far. 3 minutes left in the first half. What do you do with her having 2 fouls?
You know, she's been so important to the game right now, and you can't let her pick up her third. And she got frustrated with a no call on the other end and came down and picked up an easy foul for no reason. And she's got to be smarter. But she's the kind of player, I think, Coach P, you know, you could leave her on the floor, but there's no sense. Just let's take her out. Why let her pick up her third? Because you're going to need her in the last 20 minutes.
First free throw by Douglas, good. And the lead now just 5 for Duke.
Free throws give Wake a chance to set their press up. And I'm sure you're going to see them extend their defense again.
2-possession game here, just over 3 minutes left in the first half as Wake Forest does press. Elizabeth Williams does a nice job facilitating the break, though.
And that's a great job. To the middle and then opposite, the way to break a press. Wake back in their zone.
Amber Henson back out on the floor. Has started 4 career games, all of those coming this season. Had struggled mightily with injury her first 2 years on campus as Rashae Jackson hits a nice jump shot there to extend the lead back to 6.
Nice job by another senior. Rashae Jackson having a great game tonight as well.
Rashae shooting a career high 53% from the field this year. Has scored in double digits in 5 of Duke's last 6 games. Well on her way to doing so once again.
Foul on the rebound. Ball goes back to Duke. Good hustle by Elizabeth Williams on the boards. And Duke's going to set up against the press.
Foul there on Bernori, her first. Elizabeth Williams showing her athleticism, able to break the press and dishes it off to Rashae Jackson, who lays it in.
Nice job inbounding, getting the ball up the floor quickly. Elizabeth Williams attacks the defense and passes off to Rashae Jackson for another layup.
Duke at nearly 61% from the field thus far, so offense not the issue so far for the Blue Devils. 33-25, just under 2 minutes left here in the first half. Nice look there by Douglas, but Hamby is bottled up inside, and it'll stay with Wake Forest on the out of bounds.
No, and you see Wake Forest, like NC State and Maryland before them, really struggling to find the spots in the zone to get the ball to create good shots. The area around the ACC, Ryan, is the area that's really valuable to get the ball to against this zone. And the ball needs to move faster on offense. They need to attack the gaps a little bit better, and they need to find that soft spot around the ACC and look for some high-low passes. Douglas
takes a 3 there with little time left on the shot clock. Duke has forced Wake Forest into some late shot clock possessions as the Demon Deacons make a substitution.
The matchup's doing exactly what it's designed to do for Duke right now, making Wake take low percentage shots.
Good pressure there by Wake Forest. Rashae Jackson able to cross midcourt and gets it over to Odera Cheatham. Finds Amber Henson, the nice dribble drive there, and the layup is off the rim. Scooped back up by Cheatham, and the Blue Devils will reset. 6 rebounds already on the evening for Odera Cheatham.
Look at the size Duke has on the floor right now. There's not a player under 6 foot out there.
When one door closes, another one opens. Duke unable to go perhaps with as much ball handling as it wants, but now likely a size advantage on anybody they play the rest of the year.
And they really need to use their size against this zone. They're settling for that shot by Amber Henson. When they have size in the paint, they can just really post up and get a good look at the basket.
Pull-up jump shot there, no good. Rebound, though, off Wake Forest, and it'll be the Blue Devils ball. Just under a minute left here in the first half. You try to go 2 for 1 if you're the Blue Devils.
I think for Duke right now, their concern is just really getting the ball down the floor and getting a good look at the basket. But it would be really nice to see them get a high percentage shot on this possession, use the size advantage they have, get the ball down low, take out the center of the zone, get some great post position, feed the post, and get a layup.
You mentioned the post. Blue Devils outscoring Wake Forest 20-10 in the paint. 5 blocks to 0 also, so Duke has used its size advantage to its advantage thus far in a number of ways. Still, however, just an 8-point lead.
Well, and I think Coach P and her staff are going to be happy with the way the team has played right now. They've obviously had a few days to make some very big adjustments, and they're playing with poise. Obviously, they've made a few mistakes, but I think that was expected today under the circumstance. Now, here you see man-to-man full court press, mixing it up a little bit by Wake, and a foul immediately. And Duke's going to go to the free throw line again.
Foul on Milan Quinn there, her first. 7th team foul for Wake Forest, so Kendall McGravy Cooper heads to the line for a 1-and-1.
Probably not what Coach Hoover wanted out of that press. I like the idea of coming back with a different look.
Free throw no good. Cheatham, incredible job to gather the rebound away from Hamby. She's been great on the boards today against the ACC's very best in that department. And the Blue Devils will have another possession. 20 seconds, about 21 seconds of differential on the shot and game clock as Cheatham finds a cutting Amber Henson.
Wake goes back to man. Nice recognition to get the ball inside. But a turnover with the travel. So the ball back to Wake Forest. Let's see what they can do on this possession.
30 seconds left in the half, 25 left on the shot clock, so
I like Cheatham in the top of the zone. That is a lot of length up there, and she's quick and athletic.
Wake Forest holding for hopefully the last shot as Hamby in close to the basket, fouled by Henson.
Hamby able to secure the ball in the paint and takes it to the rim like she's been doing all night.
Hamby getting ready to shoot her 7th and 8th foul shots of the game already.
And you can see how effective she is getting to the free throw line and just scoring close to the rim.
Very active, very aggressive, and very solid from the free throw line today. 5 of 7 now. Just 1 of 6 from the field, but effective nonetheless on the offensive end. 7 points, 4 rebounds, pair of assists for one of the ACC's best. Second free throw, no good. 10 seconds left for the Blue Devils to get something on the other end. Rashae Jackson bothered by a pair of Demon Deacons. Turned over, and Hamby, with a clear path to the basket, scores it just before the halftime buzzer. And that's how it will end. 33-28. Great momentum going into halftime for the Demon Deacons. And really, that was one of the first live turnovers we saw out of the Blue Devils in the backcourt. And it leads to an easy bucket for Dearica Hamby. We'll have plenty more. Coach P going for her 199th win here at Duke. She's 1 half away. We'll be back with more on ESPN3. Good wide shot there of historic Cameron Indoor Stadium as the Wake Forest Demon Deacons and Duke Blue Devils get set for the second half. Not much foul trouble for either team. Haley Peters and Clea Johnson with a pair of fouls for the Blue Devils. And Candace Ball and Kalila Atkinson with a pair for the Demon Deacons. No players with 3. As Jill Bernori starts off the first offensive possession for Wake Forest. Duke up 5. Looking to extend its winning streak over the Demon Deacons to 40 straight. Tied for 4th longest winning streak in the nation over a conference opponent. Ironically, Blue Devils also have the 5th longest streak. They've beaten Georgia Tech 36 straight times.
Duke came out and man in that possession to start the game and didn't defend the ball screen very well, and Wake was able to get to the rim. Unfortunately for Duke, missed the layup, but they're going to have to remedy that ball screen defense if they stay in the man-to-man.
No changes in the lineup for either team to start the second half. Trisha Liston spots up for a 3 and got it.
And Wake comes out in their 2-3 zone, and your biggest concern has to be Trisha Liston. And Trisha Liston hides on the back side of the zone, skip pass wide open, and she drills the 3.
First 3 of the day for Trisha Liston. Now moves into a tie for 11th all-time in ACC history with former NC State sharpshooter Marissa Kostanek. Elizabeth Williams backs Candace Ball into the post. Nice feed to Haley Peters, who's got 13 on the afternoon.
See, and there's what we're talking about, Ryan. Getting the ball inside. Elizabeth Williams gets great position. She catches the ball, and a nice dive cut by Haley Peters to the basket, a dump pass, and she finishes. Great offense by Duke.
Hamby tries to get low post position there on Elizabeth Williams and looking for the foul, none called, and instead Duke will take over possession just about 90 seconds into the second half here.
And Duke goes right back into the matchup on the second possession, and Wake turns the ball over pretty much for no reason. But here comes Wake with the extended defense again. 2-2-1.
Quick double on Rashae Jackson, but the ball nicely spread around. Haley Peters for 3 from the corner, no good. Rebounded by Amber Henson, who is called for the offensive foul as the official says she's cleared out her defender.
And they're going to call her for it because she led with her elbow. And even though she didn't throw her elbow, she still led with it. And that's a real point of emphasis this year and last year. And just watch how she'll turn. And she turns with that elbow, and she catches Bernori in the face.
And the refs may look at that one to see if there was contact with the elbow to any portion of the head.
And anytime there is, they're going to go to the monitor. If anything looks like there is, they have to go to the monitor to look at it to see if it was flagrant. It didn't look flagrant up here. It just looked like she made her move. It was a really slow move, but she still hit her in the face with her elbow.
Another look here is Bernori standing right up on Henson. And looks like Henson may have grazed the chin. Certainly no malice intended there.
Henson's just trying to do a step-through move in the post, which is a really nice move, and she just happens to catch Bernori on the chin. I think Henson is going to be a great player for this Duke program. We've seen her step out and hit a couple threes, and it's fun to watch a 6'4" kid hit threes, but she's going to be so effective around the basket. Look how high she gets up for that rebound.
It's been a shame. She's hardly had any time really to be healthy. So many surgeries. Trying to get her knee in playing shape, finally able to do so this year, and now in a position to contribute as the numbers just are what they are for the Blue Devils. Only 8 scholarship players, they're all going to play, and a renewed focus really for the entire team, Coach P said in practice, because no one had the feeling like, I'm not going to play, why bother? Everybody knows they've got a chance to shine here as quickly the officials decide no flagrant on the play, so just the personal foul for Amber Henson, her second of the day.
Well, when you're a player and you know you're guaranteed playing time, it does change a little bit for you. You get out in practice, you know you're going to get your minutes, and you pick it up a little bit.
Henson, nice defense on Ball there, and the Blue Devils with a rare transition opportunity. And a turnover there, Bernori able to snag it.
That's just a careless turnover by Rashae Jackson, and those are kind of the mistakes that you might expect as they adjust to playing without Alexis Jones, but she's a senior, and she knows better than that. She needs to take care of the ball.
Coach P admitting we may see some things today that we might say to ourselves, well, that wouldn't have happened if Chelsea Gray or Alexis Jones were on the court, and she's absolutely right about that, but she understood that and had perspective about that fact. It's going to be a growing process for this team.
And Candace Ball turns around on the other end of the floor and does the same thing for Wake, a careless turnover.
Nice feed there to Elizabeth Williams, who uses the dribble nicely but isn't able to finish. Chelsea Douglas going the other way for Wake Forest. Dearica Hamby with a bit of a mismatch, but Blue Devils able to trade off Liston, and now Elizabeth Williams back on her in the post.
Hamby just forced that one up, and that was a good job by Elizabeth Williams just to keep her hands up, force her to take a bad shot.
Hamby getting frustrated now a bit with the officials. Just 2 of 8 on the afternoon. Does have 9 points, but 5 of those have come from the free throw line. And as a coach, what do you do to make sure your star player isn't getting too frustrated? Because she has to stay patient. I mean, she's one of the best players on the floor, if not the best, for the Demon Deacons. It's important that she stays composed, poised, focused on the task at hand.
She is the center of this team, and she does need to stay composed. But, people don't realize, because Elizabeth Williams sometimes is just doing her job, and you don't realize what a good defender she is until you see her play against a player like NC State's Gatling, who she just held her all night long. And now you're watching her against Hamby, the leading scorer in the league, just doing a fantastic job limiting her touches and limiting her good looks at the basket. Hamby needs to stay poised and control. She needs to take better shots and create opportunities for herself to score.
Hamby again unable to corral Granori. Outstanding hustle play once again. Chelsea Douglas thinks about the shot and instead hits the floater nicely with 2 seconds left on the shot clock to pull the Wake Forest Demon Deacons back with an 8.
There you see Douglas's ability to put the ball on the floor and get into the paint. She's dangerous.
Granori there with the foul. That's her 3rd. Bit of foul trouble for her, and really the best defender for the Demon Deacons. That could be an issue for Wake Forest going forward here.
Wake back in the 2-3 zone. Duke needs to move the ball, attack the gaps, maybe overload the zone, but find opportunities down low.
Rashae Jackson handling the point guard duties for now. Amber Henson, little jump shot there from the inside. The free throw line goes down, and the Blue Devils back up by 10.
And a wide open Amber Henson in the high post right around the ACC that we talked about, and the nice, easy jump shot.
Atkinson driving left-handed. No good. Hamby with the rebound. This time does draw the foul on Elizabeth Williams. It'll be her 2nd. And it'll be a media timeout. We'll go ahead and take the break with the teams. Duke leads by 10, 15 minutes and 28 seconds. And a lot of today's game, really a lot of the success of the last couple of seasons, due to this tremendous senior class that Blue Devils are celebrating today on Senior Day. They averaged 32 points a game. In 2009, there you take a look at the graphic. That group has got Duke 3 ACC regular season titles, a pair of ACC tournament titles, 3 Elite Eights, and a 116-17 record. Overall, they've gone 57-4 in Cameron Indoor Stadium today, including 2 undefeated seasons, trying for their 58th win in Cameron this evening. A remarkable class, one of the best Duke has really ever seen. That's saying a lot for a program that's enjoyed as much success as the Blue Devils have over the years.
An amazing class who's really carved their way into the Duke record books. And I think if you talk to Coach P and her staff, they'd say even more amazing people. Just all around great kids, good students, great players, and they certainly will be missed, and they've left an amazing impact here at Duke.
Each of them spoke for a bit today at the shoot-around about their earliest memories of basketball, their favorite memories of basketball. Kind of a touching moment of the entire team huddled around each other at center court. And this will be the last time that they wear the Duke jersey here at Cameron Indoor Stadium. For now, they're up along with the rest of their teammates by 8. It's 40-32 Blue Devils. Just over 15 minutes left here in the second half, as Atkinson able to come up with that steal. Turnover by Elizabeth Williams, quickly ahead to Hamby. Nice job running the floor there, and she lays it in. Hamby, beautiful work end to end. 13 on the day for her to go along with 6 rebounds.
And you see the extended defense bothering the Blue Devils, but on that possession on the make, they got the ball in, inbounded quickly, and were able to get the ball down the floor. And Haley Peters missed the chippy, but inbounding quickly against the press is going to be a key to getting through it a little bit quicker.
Layup was missed by Haley Peters, but nice job there to keep the ball alive, and eventually foul called on Chelsea Douglas. As you see the hard work done by one of the seniors we were just talking about. Duke up 6, just under 15 minutes left here in the second half. Wake Forest doing a nice job of staying well within contact of the Blue Devils. A team that kept Notre Dame to its lowest field goal percentage of the year. A really solid defensive squad, ever improving. And Duke seeing why now.
Wake stayed in their zone, but you can see Elizabeth Williams. She's battling down there, and she has a strength factor over Hamby. She's a little bit bigger physically. She's using her body to create position for herself, and she's really, really working down there. And Wake did a good job on that possession, making it difficult for the ball to go inside.
Calicott hits the three there, and now quietly a one-possession game. Elizabeth Williams fending off Hamby there and draws the foul. Calicott, a bit of an X factor for Wake Forest. She started 5 straight games coming into today, and she's able to spread out the defense and not allow teams to focus strictly on Hamby and Douglas. It gives them that all-important third scorer, which every coach loves to have on a basketball court.
And you need that kid who can really spread the floor and take pressure off your interior player and your best guard.
Elizabeth Williams, one dribble there, and the lay-in good. Good no call there either on the what could have been block or charge.
Nice
Instead
job
of play
by the
on.
officials.
Yep, and now the Blue Devils with a 5-point lead after the Williams floater. Atkinson working against the double team. Nice turnover forced by the Blue Devils, and Clea Johnson coast to coast layup and the foul.
And the crowd likes that one, and Duke needed that one. And Clea Johnson coming in off the bench, making an impact with the steal and the N1.
Johnson, a player likely to see far more playing time now that the Blue Devils are down to 3 backcourt players. Another look there. And the clear foul by Micaiah Jones. If you're a coach, that foul has to bother you. If you're going to foul, you may as well get your money's worth and prevent the N1.
Coach never wants to see an N1. You do your best to make sure they don't make that layup.
And Clea Johnson finishes off the three-point play the old-fashioned way, as the Blue Devils quickly now up ahead 8 on a 5-0 run.
You know, and they're using Clea Johnson's to extend the defense and put a little bit of pressure on the ball to slow Douglas down. But that's the second foul she's made this evening. That was absolutely for no reason. You've got to play hard in the defensive end, but the fouls, you need to be smarter.
Clea Johnson with 3 now, cutting Atkinson there.
That's a nice high-low look for Wake. You see them enter the ball into the ACC area around the free throw line, and the dive cut by the baseline player.
Quickly ahead to Haley Peters, who finishes over Hamby.
And that was a great job by Haley Peters to take it at Hamby, because she knew she wasn't going to foul her, and she just took her right to the rim.
Good finish there. Peters with 15 points on 6 of 12 shooting on the day. Great hustle there by the Blue Devils. Johnson ahead to Trisha Liston, who finishes, and a timeout called by Jen Hoover and the Wake Forest Demon Deacons.
Trisha Liston gets a hand on it, but Haley Peters goes diving after it and makes the play happen for Duke for the 2 points on the other end. Duke
continuing to force turnovers, 11 apiece for the teams in that category. Devils were up only 3 a minute ago. Now it's near 12 minutes and 45 seconds left in the second half. They lead 49-39. Just a moment ago, though, the lead was only 3. Duke did a nice job, though, spacing it back out and giving themselves a little bit of breathing room here in the second half.
And you see Elizabeth Williams takes it to the basket and gets the easy bucket. Clea going hard to the hole. And Duke's right now just making hustle plays, hard attacks. Haley Peters, hard attack to the rim. And then they'll play the out before the immediate timeout, the loose ball, turning it into a layup on the other end.
Haley Peters getting it done on both ends of the court. Saw her with the layup and diving to keep that loose ball alive. 15 points on the afternoon for Peters, just 3 off her season high. So certainly one of the best all-around games she's enjoyed in quite a while, as Demon Deacons able to cut the lead to 8 on a jump shot.
That was good ball movement by Wake and a nice, easy, short jump shot by Taylor.
Shea Jackson. And 1. As Atkinson picks up the foul.
I just love the way Rashae Jackson's playing tonight. She is playing like a senior, and she is playing like a leader. She's had some great takes to the basket. She wants to win this game. She's really stepping up for her team. Jackson,
one of 2 Blue Devils in double figures in scoring, and a perfect 3 for 3 from the free throw line as Duke extends its lead to 11, its largest of the day.
I think Duke's really picked it up on the defensive end as well. You see hands up, you see everybody on the balls of their feet, making Wake's offense move a little bit faster than they want to.
10 seconds left now on the shot clock as the Deeks go into Hamby. Nice job there by Elizabeth Williams to deny her the good opportunity. Kick back out to Chelsea Douglas, however. 3 no good. And Haley Peters, who else, comes up with the rebound, her 4th of the afternoon.
Elizabeth Williams is just doing a great job defensively on Hanby, forcing her off the block, forcing her into some difficult shots.
776 rebounds now for Haley Peters, ties her 9th all-time in ACC history.
Haley Peters' wide open 3 doesn't hit the rim. Maybe getting a little bit tired right now, but she will continue to play hard. That's a guarantee. Make
that school history for Haley Peters' rebound mark. Chelsea Douglas quickly fires the 3 there and brings the Deacons back within 8.
And that's a mistake by Odera Cheatham. That's a long rebound that gets into the hands of Douglas. And Odera Cheatham's right there to put a long hand in her face, and she backs away from the shooter. And you do not leave the ball in that situation.
Heads-up play there by Kalia Johnson to keep that one alive for the Blue Devils after Odera Cheatham had lost her balance and her dribble.
Wake Forest bench visibly upset. I think that was a travel that the officials missed.
Can the Blue Devils take advantage? Instead, they get the travel now on Rashae Jackson. Both teams will head to their respective benches for a timeout. We'll take it with them. Blue Devils 52, Demon Deacons 44. Blue Devils up by 8 over Wake Forest. Duke trying to seal a number 2 seed in the upcoming ACC tournament, and Jen Hoover trying to get her team into the NIT. These last couple of games are going to be important for that. She's in her 2nd season, as you can see, at Wake Forest. One of the best players in school history. Scored more points than anybody else to wear a Demon Deacons uniform. And we had a chance to observe her practice and shoot around, and just a really instructional coach. Not a lot of rah-rah. She just kind of walks her team through what they need to do, and she's trying to lay a foundation right now that she hopes will help build Wake Forest into a contender in the ACC.
She is, and you know, being a coach at your alma mater, she obviously has a tremendous sense of pride, but Jen's really good with her kids. She's a great teacher. She cares about her kids both on and off the court, and she's going to just systematically build this program 1 year at a time. You can see the caliber of players she has right now. She's got some really good players. Look at Hanby and what she's been able to do this year. She'll continue to recruit and get more talent in, and she'll grow this Wake Forest program, I have no doubt.
Great ball movement there by Brunori to give Hanby the easy 2 late in the shot clock, as Hanby now starting to assert herself. 13 points and 7 rebounds on the evening.
Now 18 seconds on the shot clock when Duke gets into their offense.
Long pass there, picked off nicely by Brunori, who will try to coast in for the layup. Beautiful work by Trisha Liston to prevent the easy 2, as Brunori perhaps a bit too casual on that layup attempt.
And that's the cardinal sin of the breakaway. You do not slow down, and she let Trisha Liston catch back up with her. I mean, she had a breakaway which had cut this game to 4 points, and she slows down, and Trisha Liston comes in and gets a hand on the ball. Great hustle by Trisha Liston.
Chelsea Douglas now, and eventually over to Collicott, but 3 there, no good. Rebounded by Rashae Jackson.
Duke's got to take care of the ball on this possession and get a good shot.
Williams thought about it, instead takes Hanby to the bucket. Nice rebound there eventually by Odera Cheatham. And the Blue Devils reset their offense. Rashae Jackson, lefty scoop, is good.
Wake goes to man, and Rashae Jackson just slices and dices right through the middle of the defense.
54-46, just over 9 minutes left here in the second half. Blue Devils in the lead. Wake Forest not allowing Duke to separate too much. Largest lead of the day, 11 for Duke. And Chelsea Douglas blows by Elizabeth Williams. Floater there, off the rim twice, no good. Another hustle rebound for the Demon Deacons, and another possession for Jen Hoover and her squad.
Wake's done a good job tonight going to the offensive glass, getting second looks at the basket. Duke's got to get a little bit stronger on the boards down the stretch here. There's a lot of basketball left to play, and this is a pretty close game.
Coach Hoover talked about how important it was to draw Elizabeth Williams away from the bucket. Such a presence on the inside. She's blocked a shot in every game she's played in college other than one, and you saw that just there. Williams not as good a defender on the perimeter as she is down low, and Wake Forest able to draw her second foul.
If you can get her out on the baseline and give her a shot fake, her feet aren't as quick out there. They did a great job just pulling her away, as you said.
Plenty of time left on the shot clock for Chelsea Douglas. As Hanby looks to back down Odera Cheatham. Probably a bit too far out for that, and Cheatham quickly recovers on the block. 4 seconds left. But a late foul for Rashay Jackson. Just 4 seconds left and a loose ball at midcourt. Perhaps a bit ill-advised for the senior.
Really nice defensive possession by Duke. A great block, and Rashay Jackson goes hustling and just kind of fell over her man. Really didn't intend to do that. That was a shame because that was a great defensive possession.
Shot clock will reset, and so Wake Forest will have plenty of time. Down just 8 here in the second half. Tremendous disparity in shooting percentage for the two teams as the Demon Deacons turn it over for the 12th time. Wake Forest shooting just 34% for the game. Blue Devils up over 54%. 25 rankings there on your screen, and as we get closer and closer to March Madness, that left column starting to think about 1 and 2 seeds, the top 8 teams in the country. Also can't help but notice if you're an ACC fan, Duke number 7 now, but a host of ACC teams represented there in the top 25.
And you see Louisville at number 3 and coming into the ACC next year. So Notre Dame at 2, Louisville at 3. The ACC is about to get bigger and better. But UConn and Notre Dame, obviously the class of the list. But Dawn Staley leading a really young South Carolina team to a number 4 ranking right now.
Elizabeth Williams guarded by Hamby in the backcourt. Duke with 3 seconds to get it across, and Cheatham takes care of that. Finds a nicely cutting Haley Peters. And Rashay Jackson backs it out.
Wake comes out and man on this possession, extends their defense, puts a little pressure on Duke.
Foul called there on Ataja Taylor. Virginia Group 2A Player of the Year last year in high school.
Duke's going to go to the line now. They're in the bonus. This is going to help a little bit down the stretch.
And Cheatham hits the first.
Tricia Liston getting a little bit of a break right now so she can come back and finish out.
Second free throw, no good. Bernori there. Quick lefty layup attempt, no good. Duke out on the run. Haley Peters finds Elizabeth Williams, ran the floor beautifully and finished the lay-in.
Elizabeth Williams is one of the best posts in the country at running rim to rim. She gets those 2 first quick steps in transition, and she gets out and goes. Great pass by Haley Peters. Duke needed that bucket.
57-46, Blue Devils lead Wake Forest, just under 7 minutes to go, and now a timeout called by the Demon Deacons as they found themselves trapped in the corner.
And you'll see in Duke's matchup from time to time that they'll trap the corners, and sometimes it's keyed on the dribble, but it's a really difficult position to have the ball in when the trap comes, and the size of that trap alone, when you look at the length of the arms in that trap, and Wake gets stuck in the corner and has to call a quick timeout.
5 different Blue Devils with 7 points or more. Excellent balance scoring for Duke. On the other side, Wake Forest getting 31 points from Chelsea Douglas and De'Erica Hamby. Duke doing a nice job, though. The 2 of them only shooting 9 for 24 from the field, so a lot of times you know players are going to get a certain number of points. You just want them to take a lot of shots to get there.
Well, I think Duke's going to have to keep an eye on Chelsea Douglas down the stretch because she does have tremendous scoring potential. And like you said earlier in the broadcast, Ryan, made 9 threes in a game at Florida International earlier this year. Duke doesn't want her getting hot from behind the 3 to get them back in this game quickly.
Bernori, nice hustle there to try to aggravate Haley Peters, who pulls down her 6th rebound of the day to go along with 15 points and a career-high 4 steals. Tremendous effort today by the senior on senior night. Always good to see when seniors play well in their last game. Blue Devils up 11, 6 minutes and 36 seconds left here in the second half, as Peters keeps that one alive momentarily, but then tiptoes onto the baseline.
Wake goes back to their zone, and a nice high-low pass from Elizabeth Williams. Unfortunately, Haley Peters stepped on the out-of-bounds line.
Hamby regathers after a loose ball and tied up by Odera Cheatham, who's done very well today off the bench.
You know, Hamby's just frustrated right now, and she is a player in this league, obviously, by her scoring average, who's used to having her way, and a lot of players don't have their way against Elizabeth Williams and the size that Duke has in the paint.
Haley Peters, nice job there to get Hamby off the ground, and then hits the little baby hook. 17 on the day for Peters.
Haley Peters is a rock star tonight.
Ties her high for an ACC game this year with 17 points, one off of her season high as Atkinson hits the jump shot from the baseline to pull Wake Forest.
That was great execution by Wake against the zone. A nice screen and a wide open shot in the corner.
Quick shot for Rashae Jackson, no good. Bernori hauls it in as the Deacons trail by 11 with 5 minutes and 40 seconds left here in the second half. Wake Forest shooting just 33% from the field, 5 of 19 from 3. And as I say that, Chelsea Douglas must have heard me.
And that's what we just talked about. Like, Haley Peters backed off of her. You cannot back off of Chelsea Douglas, especially at this crucial point in the game. She's going to shoot that shot. She showed that earlier when I think it was Amber Henson backed off of her.
She's second in three-pointers made in school history. One of 4 Demon Deacons with 1,500 points and 350 assists for her career. And doing nicely there to pull the Demon Deacons back within 8.
She's one of the few players right now that can keep them in this game.
There's a look there at Douglas able to wait patiently before eventually creating the shot opportunity. Gets a little bit of a screen there by Calicott.
And Haley Peters, uncharacteristically, gets a little lazy right there. She lets her dribble, backs off, and lets her take the shot. Here comes Wake with their extended defense again. Duke's going to have to solve this, get the ball down.
Clea Johnson, long cross-court pass, finds Rashae Jackson and immediately starts a transition opportunity for the Blue Devils, but Johnson will regather and slow things down just a bit.
On a good press break for the Blue Devils. Set their offense up with 23 seconds on the shot clock.
Now 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Clea Johnson drives baseline but loses the ball out of bounds. 15th turnover on the day for Duke.
You know, that's an example, and Clea Johnson's a really good player, and she's going to keep getting better and better, but that's an example at this point in the game of knowing what you're good at and knowing where the ball needs to go and whose hands the ball needs to be in.
Ball in the capable hands of Chelsea Douglas at this point. Douglas, the game-high scorer with 19, as Hamby hits a long jump shot. And that pulls the Demon Deacons back within 5.
And that's the horn set we had talked about earlier by Wake, where they set the double high screen, and Douglas came off the screen and kicked it back to Hamby, and you see her versatility that she can shoot the three-point shot.
Liston thought about shooting her 4th 3 of the day, but instead will retreat to midcourt and call a set. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Rashae Jackson over to Peters. Ball deflected out of bounds by Hamby. So active hands for the Demon Deacons. Just under 4.5 minutes left here in the second half.
And that was nice execution. Trisha Liston was wide open in the corner, and Haley Peters needed to ball fake.
5 seconds left on the shot clock. Hamby again forcing the issue. Liston shot blocked by Atkinson, and it's going to be a shot clock violation on the Blue Devils. Great defense by the Demon Deacons there, and an opportunity within 3 or 2.
Wake Forest needed that defensive possession. They picked it up. Great defensive possession by them, and let's see what they can do right now on the offensive end of the floor to cut into this lead.
Crowd getting into it now, sensing this is an important possession. Opportunity to draw within 1 possession for Wake Forest as Douglas surveys. Gets it into Hamby at the elbow. She'll take Elizabeth Williams. Tough shot there. Good positioning by Williams. Cheatham keeps it alive, and Rashae Jackson will try to dribble it over midcourt.
Elizabeth Williams again altering Hamby's shot. She's been doing it all night long.
Liston has issues with Atkinson. 15 seconds left on the shot clock. Wake Forest defense certainly picked up here in the last couple of minutes. Williams kicks it out to Rashae Jackson from the corner for 3. No good. Rebound by Liston, and the Blue Devils will get another possession. Ref had to think about it for a second. Atkinson tried to play it off of Trisha Liston. Instead, it'll be Blue Devils ball up 5. They were up 8 until Hamby said, let's cut. Hoover psyching up her team for the final 3.5 minutes of this one. Wake Forest finds themselves down only 5 after an 8-0 run over the last 2.5 minutes. Duke has missed 3 shots in a row, turned it over 3 times. Got a serious ball game on our hands now, Debbie.
I think Wake's right where they want to be right now, and Coach Ruber obviously using this timeout to continue to inspire her team to keep it going down the stretch. Duke has to know where Douglas and Hanby are at all times, and Duke in this game has only made 2 threes, and you know they lead the ACC in three-point shooting, and obviously getting the ball inside has worked for them tonight, but I think they're due.
Big possession for Duke. Where do you go if you're Joanne P. McCauley?
Tricia Liston has been your go-to all year. You're either going to Tricia Liston or Elizabeth Williams. Stay in this zone.
We'll see what they do as Rashae Jackson handles the ball. Odera Cheatham on the floor as well. Great minutes for the freshman today. 15 seconds left on the shot clock, plenty of time. Liston comes to grab it from Jackson and calls a set. 6 seconds left, now 5 on the shot clock. Jackson will need to get something up there. Eventually the ball is off her knee, so a turnover here for the Blue Devils. That's 4 in a short period of time. 17 on the evening for Duke to go along with 8 assists, so not a great ratio at all there for the Blue Devils, again playing their first game. Sans a point guard. No point guards left for Duke on scholarship. All 4 gone by either injury or attrition, as you see the turnover stat there. Blue Devils -5 right now in turnover margin.
Wake's zone has really been stifling for Duke on the last couple possessions. They need to do a better job attacking the zone, attacking gaps, overloading, moving the ball, using ball fakes.
Atkinson a 3 there, rebounded by Tricia Liston. And she'll need to get the ball across the timeline, just 1 second left, and does so with nary a second to spare. Good look there by Cheatham to Elizabeth Williams, who follows it in.
Great job for Cheatham to attack the baseline and hit a diving Elizabeth Williams. Duke really needed that bucket. Great play.
Big possession for the Blue Devils there. Now up 7. Can Wake Forest answer? They'll go back into Hamby. She's been there all year long. She's there that time.
Right back at you. Hamby open down low in the paint. You see Elizabeth Williams wasn't guarding her that time, and she takes a nice, easy shot.
Hamby with her 19th 20-point game of the season, 23rd of her career.
Williams going to take her time and Tricia Liston and get her team set.
Point lead now for the Blue Devils. Every possession critical. 2 timeouts left for Wake Forest, 3 left for Duke. Not much foul trouble to speak of. Liston for 3, got it.
And you just knew it was coming, Ryan. You knew it was coming, and they just had to find her. They had to find an opening. Great look by Haley Peters. Tricia Liston's got her feet. She's ready for that shot. She's been waiting for that wide open shot long, and she hits it when her team needs it.
10th all-time now in ACC history for the three-point artist. Leads Duke's all-time list in three-pointers made.
You know, when you have like 3 players converge on Haley Peters on the drive, you cannot leave Tricia Liston open, especially at this point in the game. But only Duke's 3rd 3 of the night, 3 for 12 from the three-point line, which is very atypical for them, but biggest shot of the night.
No column in the box score for clutch plays, but that was certainly won by the Blue Devils. You look at Tricia Liston's box score today, you wouldn't think much of it, but that's a huge shot late in this game. Crucial time for the Blue Devils, not only in this game, but really in their season, trying to reestablish themselves once again. This team has had to undergo so many identity changes. Pretty remarkable job done by Coach P and her coaching staff.
It really has been an amazing by the staff. These seniors, you know, they want to go out tonight on their last night in Cameron with a win.
Every possession critical, as we mentioned. Hamby thinks about a 3, double team quickly, kicks it outside to Chelsea Douglas. 8 seconds left on the shot clock. Floater there, no good. Rebound kept alive and then eventually snagged by Peters.
Big by Haley Peters.
Minute 5 left. Blue Devils enjoying an 8-point lead. You would think Wake Forest would have to foul here sooner rather than later.
It's a 3-possession game. They need to.
Atkinson guards Haley Peters, and there's the foul given perhaps a bit too late. Maybe Wake Forest trying to play that one out. It'll be on Candace Ball, and it'll be her 3rd.
There's a lot of time left on the clock for Wake to stay in this game. They need to get the ball down the floor quickly and get a good look at the basket. They don't have to have a 3 right now. They can get a quick 2. They can attack the rim. Haley Peters makes these free throws and now becomes a 4-possession game.
1-1 for Haley Peters. First one is good. She earns the second and ties the season high with 18 points along the way.
Be nice to see her make this one and have a season high on senior night. just as I say it.
Not to be, but the offensive rebound for the Blue Devils, perhaps even better than if she would have made the shot. Wake Forest needs to foul now, you would think. They don't want to foul Liston, though. She's one of the best in the nation from the charity stripe. They'll try their luck with Odera Cheatham at the end of a three-point play as the freshman finishes the tough lay-in.
Wake did not want to foul Trisha Liston. They wanted to force the ball out of her hands, even though the clock is not working in their favor. Duke finds the open player and gets the easy basket for Odera Cheatham. And the N1. Not what you want if you're Coach Hoover right now.
Cheatham unable to convert on the three-point play, but of course the layup is good, and the lead is 11, for the Blue Devils. Just over 30 seconds left. Calicott from the corner three, no good. Peters snags yet another rebound, her 8th of the evening. She's fouled by Brunori, and that should just about do it for the Blue Devils.
And we go back to that previous play, Ryan. That's Elizabeth Williams with offensive rebound, the biggest rebound of the night. Securing the ball, getting her team another possession, and forcing Wake Forest into a foul.
Haley Peters shooting 2 now. Duke in the double bonus as Wake has its 10th team foul. Should be a happy birthday for Greenwell, who turned 19 today. And looks like she'll be able to celebrate with the rest of her teammates after a win over the Demon Deacons.
You know, we talk about the loss of this senior class, and they've meant so much to this program, but Duke returns so much next year, not only in Elizabeth Williams, who we've gotten to see tonight, but Rebecca Greenwell, who's redshirted this year, made 17 threes in a game in high school. She's one of the best three-point shooters I've ever seen as a recruit, let alone a great incoming freshman class. And Alexis Jones, when she returns from her surgery, and she had her surgery today, and she's going to be back and ready to go, and Duke's team is going to be great again next year.
Blue Devils defense has been outstanding today, under 34% shooting for the Demon Deacons. Duke has also blocked 10 shots, the 5th time this year Duke has done that.
Duke goes long against the press right there, and Calicott gets caught up, fouls Haley Peters. So we're going to give Haley Peters another chance to have a season high.
This time she'll have 2 attempts at it, and we'll see if the Debbie Jinx holds for more than 1 free throw. It does not.
She made such a difference in this game tonight, not only from the 21 points she has right now, but the defense she played, being vocal with her teammates, just playing so hard and tough.
10 seconds left here. Blue Devils by 15. Solid effort by the Wake Forest Demon Deacons, but Duke a bit too much. In their season finale at Cameron Indoor Stadium, the seniors will celebrate a win, 71-56. Really interesting game today, Debbie. If you had told Jen Hoover and her Wake Forest staff that you were going to hold Trisha Liston to 10 points, I think they would have taken that every time out of the gate. Duke was wondering, and the rest really of the college basketball world wondering who would step up for Duke. They're the 7th ranked team in the country. They're in probably a 2-seed spot right now in March Madness. A solid win today because they got contributions from other folks. Rashae Jackson with 15. Odera Cheatham, 9 points, 12 rebounds for the freshman. And I think the star of the day, Haley Peters, 22 points, 8 rebounds.
And Jen Williams' scout said take care of Williams and Liston, and her team did that. But then it shows you the depth of the Duke team, ironically, even with only 8 scholarship players remaining on the roster, that there's other players who can step up and get the job done. And I just thought Haley Peters played so well tonight. And some of the freshmen came off the bench and had outstanding contributions for Duke.
Duke is shooting 50% for the year. They shoot